What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game. You already know what time it is and how the motto go. And get one shot at life, but a lifetime to, soak up all the knowledge you can to improve your life. All it takes is you being able to, take accountability and wanting to change the direction of your life. The choice is yours. Before I get into this video, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are great. Y'all who are doing for today actually is a very, prideful day. March 21st of 2017. In case y'all don't know, that was the day, you feel me, I was arrested and sent to prison for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? For the first time ever. So it really woke me up. So today marks 4 years been home, you know what I'm saying? And I just want people to know, like, you can really change the direction of your life. You can change the course of your life however you see fit. The choice is basically yours. A lot of times, people don't have any outlets, don't have nobody to, listen to, are very closed-minded and believe that the way they're living is the only way to live. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way to do things. It's the only way to, get ahead. And a lot of times when you come from hood or, when you come from a lack thereof, most of the times people's mind and how it operates is basically doing things that go against the law until they get caught. And now these people got you on paperwork. And once they got you on paperwork, it's like a trail. So anytime you get caught up for something or you go down for something, they're kind of like putting a trail on you. You know what I'm saying? And these facilities and institutions that keep people away from their families is basically centered off of anger, violence, drug use, and just not feeling confident in oneself to where you're able to, not really have nothing to live for. So breaking the law to you and being locked up in a facility is okay due to the lack of love you have for yourself. Everybody in this world means something to somebody. I don't care who you are. And you may not feel like that due to whatever childhood history you have been through, or things you have experienced in your life makes you feel like you're not worth nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you lose your lapse in judgment and you make calls solely based off of your mind frame and how you feel at the moment without thinking long term. All it takes is one choice away. You do not want to give these people a reason to have a paper trail on you, a reason to want to lock you up, a reason to go the extra mile based off of the things you have been already having a paper trail on you for. And let me give you an example of how that goes, right? A lot of times people who are caught up in the system and have a poverty mindset, they risk the chance of unexpectedly getting pulled over, or whatever the case may be. If you already have a record for driving a car with no license and carrying a firearm, and you a felon, when you get pulled over and they run your name, all that comes back. So what happens is you don't already want to be breaking the law when they pull up to the car, meaning you don't already want to have it smelling like tree. You don't already want to just have anything illegal out and open, because before they even search your name, you know what I'm saying, they have every opportunity to search the vehicle or do whatever. And anything that comes on you before searching your name is applied to you at that point. So now, if you get pulled over and you have nothing going on in the car that's illegal for them, they're going to ask you for your driver's license, you know what I'm saying, and your insurance. They give them your driver's license and your insurance for the car. You feel me? They run your name. Everything comes back of what you have broken the law for, which sometimes gives them opportunities to search. And if you were riding with this illegal firearm on you, now they search you, and now you go to jail for having a legal firearm on you. You know what I'm saying? The best thing to do is control how you look at life. I have threw out that same analogy, you know what I'm saying, to some dudes on Macro one time. And you know what they said to me? They said they are with their mama. The kids are with their mama. They gonna be all right. So because the kids are with their mom means they don't need a father? Due to the fact that you so caught up in the streets that you're so worried about an op catching you that you carry an illegal firearm knowing you're a felon? And if you go to jail and get locked up and your kids lose you, they with their mama and that's okay. Like, all it takes is just one thought, one change of how you think about the situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in the world don't have no ops. And if you do have ops, it's because your choices have created those ops. Or you're running with people that have ops, that know you associate with people that have ops, so you carrying this gun just in case you get caught by somebody that you hang out with and that's their op. Like, it's crazy. But I don't think people realize that these young lives need y'all, which means we have to make better decisions. We have to make better choices out here in this world, because at the end of the day, if we are not directing and making better choices for these young lives, what happens is they grow up doing the same things we did. Because once you get into the streets with no direction, no, where to go, you pick up and kind of like, do anything that you see fit for yourself. It's a crazy world out here, man. And a little vulnerable soul with no direction can easily get persuaded to think they have ops, hang around people that have ops, think they gotta, be under the influence all the time, you know what I'm saying? And basically put themselves in situations they wouldn't put themselves in if they had someone basically giving them direction, them in the right direction, so they don't have to get involved in those things. And it starts with a little soul, and when they have a lack of love. When they have a lack of love, you go out into the world searching for any and everything just to feel that sense of confidence, feel that sense of validation, feel that sense of you are it, and can't nobody tell you nothing, that you're willing to compromise your integrity and your soul just to get it. If you have, a parent that is there, that is giving you the love needed. Both parents are needed, but sometimes, adults just shack up and have a baby. And sometimes you may be asking one adult to give you something that they can't give you, and you knew that when y'all shacked up and had a baby, but you got to wait for them to want to come around. Sometimes they may not. Sometimes they may not never get it. Like, this is just an informational video to help people understand that we are what dictates the future. And the generation I grew up in, it's a lot of lost souls out there. It's a lot of people, that has been abandoned and left emotionally, physically. So the way they choose to go about life is not necessarily protecting the young lives, but protecting themselves. You got to know how to balance it and have boundaries and set boundaries for yourself as an adult, as well as help these young lives understand that is not the direction you want to go. Because if you choose to go that direction, it's only going to end up in two ways. You're going to become on these government officials' paperwork, and once they get a trail of you because you can't control your anger, or you are lashing out, or you decide to get on drugs, and you go to jail, now they have a paper trail on you. So anytime you get arrested, anytime you go down, they already know what you about. The best thing that you want to teach these young lives to do is not to have a paper trail at all, period. Which means they have to learn how to control their emotions, and they have to learn how to make better choices without having a lapse in judgment solely because, they dealing with something that's going to put them in a serious situation. Nobody wants to be locked up. Nobody wants to be taken away from their kids, and nobody wants to end up in the grave. But at the end of the day, it is so many things in life, so many choices you can make in life that can put you at risk for that if you do not make the best choices. You know what I'm saying? And again, nobody is perfect. We all out here just trying to figure it out, but we can start somewhere. And right now we're in a phase of life where it's either get right or get right. And a lot of people are struggling in that area. Everybody, not just kids, not just adults, not just men, not just women. Everybody is lightweight struggling in this area because we have been living a certain way of life for so long that is comfortable for us. And when I say comfortable for us, I mean however a person is living their life, it's comfortable for them. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily comfortable for everybody else, but for them, because of, their lack of emotional love, or their lack of, what I'm saying, whatever they need, to where they have learned how to adjust and live life to where they don't get their feelings hurt, to where they're not put in positions where, you know what I'm saying, they jeopardize their emotional well-being. And because a lot of people think like that, leads people to either take things that they know is not good for them from others, put themselves in situations that they know is not good for themselves, basically tell you something that they know is wrong, somebody else convinced them to do it, when in reality it was their lack of love for themselves that caused them to put themselves in that situation like that. A lot of people are scared to face themselves. They are scared to face their insecurities. They're scared of being depressed. They're scared of being hurt. So what they do is surround themselves with a lot of people so that they don't have to face that side of them. And what happens is, whether it's a young person trying to figure their way out in life, they get attached to gangs, or they get attached to a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That person, you know what I'm saying, for lack of not knowing themselves, now has their fate and judgment in their hands, in search of love. When I'm telling you right now, love is something that is dangerous. Love is something that everybody wants to find. Love is something that everybody wants to be involved in. Everybody in the world wants someone who loves them for who they are, not the person they put a mask on. So it leads people to, you know what I'm saying, maybe make wrong choices when they don't find the love that they need from, you know what I'm saying, a particular person. And it starts with the mom or the dad, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes due to life situations, the dad, is out doing his thing. And if that's a little boy, now he's in search of a man trying to give him the piece that he's missing. And he's putting himself in the hands of older cats who know the risk for them getting in situations, so it's easier to put the young lives in situations. You know what I'm saying? And then for young girls who missing her dad, or, lack of love from her mom trying to find herself, gets wrapped up into a man that now has control of her. And she either ends up prostituting for the rest of her life, getting hooked on drugs, not feeling no value in herself. You know what I'm saying? And the two things that leads up to that emotional unfulfillment in people is either going to jail or ending up in a casket. Those are the only two directions that it can go. Because out here in this world, you know what I'm saying, with the lack of love that you need for yourself and the lack of love that you have for yourself, most of the time you go out into the world in search of it from someone else. And maybe this, for little girls, this man you were encountering don't love himself. And his way of living is by controlling things. And you think he's showing you love because he's buying you this, buying you that, telling you everything you want to hear. And then next thing you know, as you go on down the line, he starts to become controlling and possessive. And due to your lack of not loving yourself when you got in the relationship, you never really seek the love you need to find within yourself. And this goes for a majority of people. Now, there are some people in a woman's standpoint or a young girl's standpoint who actually, you know what I'm saying, gets with some guy, due to lack of love for herself. He mistreats her, and she finally stands up for herself and does what she needs to do for herself to understand, you know what, this is not love. This is not the type of love I'm looking for. As well as a young guy. Most guys growing up in the generation we grew up in, they think to find love and be loved is to bring the money in and take care of home and give this woman a baby. That is how we're going to get these women to love us. You know what I'm saying? But we out cheating, we out doing whatever. But as long as we doing these things, we're going to find the love we need inside of another woman. Not really truly loving ourselves. Because if you truly loved yourself, you would understand if a woman is for you, instead of just picking a woman to be there for you, but you're cheating. You're having multiple sexual partners, multiple babies' moms, multiple kids, and you ain't taking care of none of them. Because in your mind, you thought that this woman was going to be here for you for the long run as long as you gave her a baby. And it's vice versa. Some women think that, you know what I'm saying? As long as she gets a baby, that's going to keep a man. Girl, that man is going to leave whether if he wants to leave. Nobody is entitled to stay. Everything is not forever. And if it is forever, it's because someone is dedicated to actually, you know what I'm saying, loving someone, which means you work at it and you work at it and you work at it. But in order to truly love someone, you have to love yourself first. And that means you got to sit with yourself. You got to deal with your insecurities. You got to deal with your pain. You got to deal with your hurt. And in the long run, the only way to become the best, you know what I'm saying, decision maker is to go through mistakes first. You have to go through mistakes in order to correct your decision making. If you don't mess up or make mistakes, how are you going to know how to make the best decisions? You're not. So anybody that judges a person or tries to put a person down for making mistakes is because somewhere inside of them, they are at fault and feeling guilty for the mistakes they made. And they don't want to confront them. So it's easier to project and confront onto someone else. Because really, we made mistakes. Really, we messed up. But we don't want to acknowledge that. And we never want to acknowledge it. So we want to be around people. So we don't never have to acknowledge that side of ourselves. Instead of taking time to be alone, to understand, you know what? I messed up. I made a mistake. If I correct it and don't make that mistake again, that improves my quality of life as well as my love for myself. But if I keep running from that over and over and time again, and keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, you're never really learning. And it's hard. It's a lot harder for some people. And I say it's harder for the ones that have no guidance in the world. It's harder for the ones that, you know what I'm saying, don't really have no one to look up to. Now, don't get me wrong. It is some people that still turn out great, even in the midst of not having someone to emotionally be there for them or emotionally support them. But what they did is they learned from all the mistakes they had to make in life to be able to change their judgment, to be able to change how they look at life, to improve their quality of life. You know what I'm saying? And I basically say that because before I went to prison, again, I had to salute myself because I'm in a very good space. Today makes 4 years since the day that I woke up in Sacramento and ended up in El Dorado County. You know what I'm saying? But my life prior to going to prison was in shambles mentally. Mentally, I was tore up. Mentally, I was in a state of panic. I was in a state of distress. I didn't look good. Nothing was going good. Mentally, you could tell from the outside looking in how messed up I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have some people that'll support you and be there for you, but then majority of the people are looking at you as if we can't rock with you because of the state you're in. We don't care about helping you. You need to help yourself. But the state you in, we're not going to be there for you either. And sometimes people who suffer from abandonment and lack of, that just brings them down more. You know what I'm saying? Like, after all them years, you know what I'm saying? I got locked up when I was 28. I went to prison a week before I turned 29. You know what I'm saying? And my brother passing took a lot from me. But I kept going on through life as if, you know what I'm saying, it didn't take a lot from me. But you can tell from the outside that it was really having a major effect on me. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, I didn't really have anybody. So I was solely navigating life on my own. And any choice that I decided to make was put down, judged, shamed, told I wasn't supposed to do that. And when you're already feeling in a state of depression, you take that and you wear it. You know what I'm saying? Not really looking at it as these same people that are judging you are people that have also made mistakes, have also went through things. And very few people will help. They will just talk about you or completely disassociate they self from you. You know what I'm saying? So again, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because in order to get right, I needed to get right for myself without the judgment, because I was only living life the way I see fit. I didn't have no guidance. I didn't have nobody telling me, hey, don't go that way, go this way. I was basically going the way that I felt was okay for me. And it wasn't all wrong. I've had jobs, I've had cars, I've had apartments, you know what I'm saying? But due to that space in between when things wasn't going good is where, you know what I'm saying, the weed came into play. You know what I'm saying? And mentally I'm going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is really trying to help me get the most precious thing back, which is my child. They're basically saying, you keep living like this, we're going to keep holding her from you. And it was tearing me up in the inside. Like, it was really playing a big part on my emotional state. And a lot of people will be like, you know what? Find it out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to get better on your own. But if you don't know where to look and you don't know where to go and you don't know what resources you have, if everybody completely abandoned you because you in a messed up state, what do you do? How do you find the help you need? You don't. Until you make some mistakes and you realize those same mistakes you making is not getting you the results that you want. I only had one mission in life. One mission. And that one mission was, I need to get my child with me. However that is going to happen, however I got to do it, that's how I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about what the DA issued me. He went from 6 years to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? All I broke down about was the fact that I was not going to be able to be in my child's life. That's it. That's all. And as a mother, that affects you in a major way. I don't care what nobody say. I'm in there stressing out every day. But then once you realize you're not getting out, you kind of got to change the way you looking at this situation, which means I got to take the benefits of what I can get out of it, which means, you know what I'm saying, I'm drug free. Because believe it or not, anything that you do on a consistent basis is basically because you have a relationship with that and you are running from something. I don't care what you say. It's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, enjoying yourself every now and then. But if you have something that you rely on every single day to cloud your judgment, it is because you are running from something. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. So because I'm in this situation, I'm drug free, I'm eating good, I'm gaining weight, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, having to deal with people in my ear every day telling me how I'm not living right, how I'm messing up, how I'm not, you know what I'm saying, moving correctly. You know what I'm saying? Because while you're in jail or prison, people don't care if you're moving correctly or not. You're going to do what you want to do. Everybody in there is worried about themselves, which is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Until you get involved in maybe a clique, or you get involved in needing support, or you get involved in somebody doing drugs. Now what you do on a daily basis is in somebody else's hands. But because I didn't do none of those things, I did exactly what I enjoyed doing, which was going to the library, reading books. They put me in the kitchen. You feel me? I've been having a job since I've been 16, so it was nothing to you know what I'm saying, help my time go by faster by going to the kitchen and working. And I had a morning shift and a night shift. And I think that was set up purposely so that I can have something to, you know what I'm saying, modify my time. Because the more, you know what I'm saying, the devil's playground is idle time. And once you have idle time and your mind is in a disarray, you start getting involved in things you don't have no business getting involved in. And prison or jail is a place where you can start looking at yourself as of less value, because you're trying to figure out away from everything you're away from, you know what I'm saying, to due to lack of support. It can either drive you in a hole or you can pull yourself out. For me, the benefit was I didn't have to deal with the negativity of people judging me. And I did everything that I wanted to, but solely going to movie night, you know what I'm saying? I was having fun, no matter how people see it or not, you know what I'm saying? But the best thing in there was to be able to self-regulate my emotions, because you go through phases. You go through that initial phase of, damn, I'm not going home. This is what I'm have to deal with for a little minute. And I'm away from everything I know. And I'm away from everything I've been doing my whole life. What do I do now? And then you go through that phase of, you know what? I might as well just understand it, because I ain't going home no time soon. So what am I going to do to, you feel me, adjust to this situation? And then you go through that phase of, okay, I know I have a date when I'm going home. Let me get it right. Let me get it together. Let me stay out the way and mind my business. And because I went through those series of phases, when I got out, my sole mission was to make sure that I got my daughter with me and I lived life correctly. People wouldn't understand that I got everything I wanted when I got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But it was still some things internally that I needed to work on. So when I started to surrender my life to the universe, I had a little pitfalls, but mentally I am in a great space. I am happy with not being around people who are very judgmental, who are not, you know, safe within themselves. People who are not happy within themselves are quick to judge you and put you down because they're not happy within themselves. And then a lot of times what happens is that person gives them a reaction. And once you give them a reaction, you got to be prepared for the consequences. I'm in a space now where I now know that me not giving you a reaction, you can't put me in nothing. You can't, you know what I'm saying, say this and that about me. At peace with yourself. People are going to talk about you no matter what. But the one thing that you don't want to do in this life is keep a paper trail on you. Because once these people have a paper trail on you, you lose life being locked up. You lose your dignity, your soul being locked up. And I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean in a way of losing out on life. Losing out on the things you could be doing. Losing out on, you know, if you are a mother or a father, you know what I'm saying? Losing out on how you can create, you know what I'm saying, something to benefit the world, your legacy. You cannot do that sitting behind a jail cell. You cannot. There's no way anybody can tell me you can create anything for yourself in there. For one, they call you by your last name. That took a lot for me to get used to, because it was different being called by my last name. I've always been called by my first name. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of adjusting. It took a lot of things that I saw happening to me that I didn't want to happen to me again. My name is Deidre. It's not Spencer. Well, it is, but I don't want to be called I don't want to be called by my last name. You know what I'm saying? I want to be called by my first name, which means you got to stay out of jail. You got to stay out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But it taught me a lot. And being clean, having a clear mind helps you to avoid things that is going to get you locked up. Because anybody that's on drugs, bro, you start at one point sometimes needing the drug more than anything. So you'll go out and risk and commit crimes just to get it, especially if you don't have no outlets or no side hustles, or you didn't grow up in a family that, you know what I'm saying, has any side hustles or anything other than discriminating yourself to get money. Most of us grew up in poverty, which means the only side hustles for women is being a prostitute. The only side hustles for men is selling drugs. Those are both things that are against the law, which means you're taking a risk every time you go outside. And every time the police catch you, you feel me, leading life like that and send you to jail, you get back out with no direction other than do what you got locked up for. And every time you get caught, you create a paper trail for yourself. And after you do it for so long, the consequences get more serious and more serious, because now they know that this is your way of life. When all it takes is a simple, you know what I'm saying, different direction. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, especially for my young lives out here. I have a lot of people that grew up not wanting to work no job. What is wrong with having a job? Because all I see you doing is waking up every day doing nothing but smoking weed, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out how to get money to smoke weed. Like, and if don't nobody want to loan you money, now you feel me, manipulating people and finessing people because you need to smoke, because you don't got nothing but idle time on your hands. Go get a job. It's nothing wrong with working, making legitimate money. You know what I'm saying? I had no problem with doing it. I don't see nothing wrong with working a job. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're taking a risk by doing things that is caused to breaking the law because you want to get rich fast. You don't want to work a job. You don't want to put in the effort. You don't want to put in the time. You want to get rich fast. And the only way you know how to get rich fast is to do things that's, you know what I'm saying, cause to breaking the law. And if you get caught, now you have a paper trail on you. You know what I'm saying? Due to the lack of self-worth within yourself. We don't got to do them things. We don't got to live that life. We don't got to walk that walk. We don't got to let these people know that we don't believe in ourselves enough to, all we know is breaking the law. You can start a business. You can, you know what I'm saying, become successful. You can get rich, but it's not going to be fast. Anything fast don't last, and that's facts. You got to be willing to take the time and be patient. Do the work. Understand who you are to be able to be successful in anything. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you bring to the table. You have to manage your emotions, because if you do things out of anger, people are going to see that. If you do things out of, you know, not wanting to learn from others solely, you got the blueprint and don't nobody else got it, and you can't learn nothing because everything you know is instilled in you, that is where people fail. That is where we fail a lot, because we don't want nobody telling us something that we may not know, but our pride is too high to acknowledge that. We need people who have come from the struggle that is succeeding to help lead us in the right direction. But everybody has to play a part. You can't just hope that this person fall into your lap because you done been to jail 50 times and you really want to change your life, and you hoping they fall into your lap and lead you the right way, but you waking up every morning, going to the liquor store, smoking weed every day, and sitting in the house playing PlayStation. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a part to play, and I'm only telling people this from my experience and what I've learned in life. You know, in this world, people don't want to see, especially my cultural people, make it. It's a system with this police that's designed, that's set up for us to fail. Set up for us to have the mindset of living in poverty, lashing out in anger, doing drugs, and ultimately they get paid to lock us up. And what comes out of that for us is our lack of pursuing anything in life. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people who get out of the system have no faith or love or loyalty in themselves. And they go out into the world and do the same thing over and end up right back in the system. You have to acknowledge who you are and acknowledge the fact that if you don't make changes, you're going to give your power away to this system. And that's what they want. That's how they make money. But think about the things that you are sacrificing because of that. I don't care who you are. It's somebody out there that needs you, siblings, parents, cousins, somebody, friends, somebody. I don't care how you look at it. But when you're in the heat of making a rash decision for yourself, you don't care. Look at what other people want. It's only based off what you want. And if you risk going to jail, you risk letting down the people that need you. Then you get out, life has changed the whole 360, and you think about what you shoulda, coulda, woulda did. You couldn't have, shoulda, coulda, woulda did nothing because you was locked up. You could have better handled yourself out of the heat of the moment. A lot of us come from poverty, so we don't want to go out and look for jobs or take the time to look for a job or put in an application because we trying to get results right now. And because we need results right now, everybody knows will come with that. And it won't be long before your paper trail comes along with that as well. Let's stop setting ourselves up for failure, man. Make the right choices, make better decisions, and understanding that us as people, we all work together. Us as the people is helping the younger generation. The people before us is helping the generation, helping our generation. Like, it just goes down in the line. Anything in life that is experienced is, you know what I'm saying? Everything that comes back in a circle. It's a cycle. Are you going to break the cycle or are you going to continue it? And the choice is up to you. And a lot of the times, once you create a paper trail for yourself, they're looking for you to create that same paper trail the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So when you start making adjustments and you're not going down the route of what this paper trail has said that you are to be, it kind of put everybody in a state of shock. Now they looking like, oh, we thought everybody has the right to get their life together, but you got to understand a lot of people don't, especially when they end up in the system, because they see life and how they feel it should be lived based off of what they know, not based off of gaining more knowledge to make the right choices, you know what I'm saying, to not end up in these people's prisons. You're losing time on your life. You're losing time with your kids. You're losing time with your mom. You're losing time with people that love you. You're losing time on creating a legacy for yourself. You're losing time on really, truly living because you gave these people your identity. All it takes is one different choice. The ability to open your mind and understand that you don't know everything. You have to be willing to accept knowledge from people who might have a different insight in life than you do. You're not the only one who make mistakes. Everybody does. Why are you so down on yourself or ignoring the fact that you make mistakes? So you portray how you feel about making mistakes onto others. We all are trying to live. We all are trying to create a legacy. We're all trying to do the right thing. And right now, at this point in life, in the world, it is coming with drastic changes because we're trying to shift from everything we thought we knew to things that are new. And when things are new, sometimes people have a hard time adjusting, which means they're going to come with the anger, the hostility, the, making it seem like it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to deal with themselves. You know what I'm saying? To where you just got to wait and be patient. Take the time. If you really love someone, you don't always got to be around people all the time to show them that you love them. Like, a lot of self-growth requires being alone. Requires understanding who you are. Requires finding that peace within yourself. To where can't nobody say or do anything to you to knock you off your pivot. Make the right decisions. Don't let these people come and take your freedom. Like, you know what I'm saying? The more people they have in the system, the more money they make off of us losing days, hours, minutes, seconds off of our life. Don't give them the opportunity. All it takes is for you to understand and cherish and love you and value yourself to where you understand that that choice got you somewhere you didn't want to be. Maybe you need to change the way you look at life. It is nothing wrong with working a job. It is nothing wrong with going to school. It is nothing wrong with taking your time, doing things the right way. The ultimate goal to success is taking your time to make mistakes, but staying on that same route, making mistakes, improving. You're having up days, you're having down days, but you staying focused. Any get rich quick schemes, ultimately, sometimes people get caught, sometimes people don't. But ultimately, that scheme will eventually run out. No matter what you're doing or who you are. That scheme, that get rich quick thing you doing is going to run out at some point. And then what? You're so used to having it, so now you put yourself in risky situations because you got to get rich fast, quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything comes with a consequence, especially if you don't take your time and set your intention on being focused. When you set your intention on being focused and doing what you got to do to get ahead in life, I promise you, you will become successful. You will level up. You will become, ahead of the game. You will become advanced in what you're doing if you stay focused. Don't give these police a reason to lock you up. Don't give these people a reason to have a paper trail on you. Don't give these people a reason to feel like they winning. All you have to do is make smarter choices. Because after getting caught so many times, you eventually gonna get tired. I don't care who you are. To where you're gonna think to yourself, listen, this can't be it. I gotta make different choices. Everybody is not built for jail or prison. I don't care who you are. Everybody's not built for that. And they will get in there and they will crumble and fall. They could be a big bad wolf out here in these streets. Get in jail, now they act a little poodle. It's really real in there. It's really people who bleed and walk, everything they talking about in there. Be careful. Figure out who you are. Make the choices you need to make. Right now is the time for, us to zone in on our creative sparks and, make the right choices and live life the best way we see fit. Especially if you have children. Because they're looking at us to guide the way. Man, you don't know what it is. I just told you. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are the leaders of the future. No matter who you are or what you're doing, all it takes is for you to believe and acknowledge who you are. And it takes self-reflection. It takes inner peace. Exchange them negative thoughts for positive thoughts. You are somebody. The day you was born, you was destined to be great. But if you don't believe that, who else will? Make sure you believe in yourself. That's where it starts. You already know what it is, man.